Good Friday evening, everyone, and welcome into the OEB Law Channel 12 Game of the Week on BBB TV. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by James Gibson. Tonight, another Roane County rivalry as Rockwood has traveled to Kingston to take on the Yellow Jackets. As I introduce my co-host, Coach James Gibson. Hey, we're still going despite COVID-19.
We are. We're extremely lucky here in East Tennessee. We've not had too many teams get canceled so far this year, so pretty exciting.
Yeah, Kingston is one of those teams that did kind of get canceled there for 2 weeks, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So Kingston Rockwood, we've seen both of these teams. So what do you expect to see in this one?
A lot of hard-nosed football out of both squads. We all know Rockwood is going to smash the football, and every touchdown that Kingston scored against Austin East was also a rushing touchdown, a total of 5. So both teams are expected to dominate in the running game, and it's going to be a battle.
We'd like to welcome in our title sponsor, OEB Law. And OEB Law is an East Tennessee law-based firm with a national practice. OEB is led by Timothy G. Elrod. Elrod is from and still calls Anderson County his home. OEB's practiced in state, federal, and city courts. At OEB, we treat our clients like family and are proud to have earned a reputation as East Tennessee's premier personal injury law office. That's why they've been voted the best of Knoxville for the past 3 years. That's OEB Law. We are so glad to have them on board with us again this season. We are live in Kingston at Dr. Nat Sugarman Memorial Field, and we will have more pregame coverage of all the games going on around East Tennessee tonight when we get back on your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices. Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
And back at your OEB Law Game of the Week. As we get set for this one, it is Rockwood at Kingston. And let's talk about some games around the area. You know, most people are going to be talking about the annual meeting between the two Blount County powerhouses, Alcoa and Maryville. And, you know, as great as Alcoa always is, Maryville's dominated this series. What kind of chance do you give the Tornadoes tonight?
Well, I never count Alcoa out, but Maryville will be too much again this year. So I've got the Naders by 21-28 Maryville.
No. Yeah. Another big game tonight that might fly under the radar is Greenback traveling to Oneida. You know, this is a great annual matchup before Oneida got moved back to AA in 2017. The two teams got together in Greenback last year with the Cherokees getting the 20-7 win. Does Oneida get revenge tonight at the reservation? This is going to be a huge game and unfamiliar territory for Greenback, as they've lost every game that they have physically played so far in 2020. Their win versus Sunbright was forfeited due to COVID-19. Greenbacks are backed up against the wall, and they are now. So I expect Oneida to be able to have a really good game tonight.
but I really do believe that Oneida is going to be ready for this. Kobe Morgan, who racked up 295 all-purpose yards last week, 4 touchdowns against Wartburg. So look for Greenback to struggle early and come back late strong.
Yeah, that'll be a very interesting game to see tonight. You know, Austin East and Fulton, they're both winless this year. Let me say that one more time. Austin East and Fulton are both winless this year. They match up tonight. Who gets the dub?
It's been a tough couple years for Fulton, but I expect the Falcons to come out on top over the Roadrunners tonight.
This is your OEB Law Game of the Week as senior night going on here at Kingston High School. Again, this is the 3rd week in a row that we have seen a senior night, and generally we see these in the back half of the season, but with all of the uncertainty surrounding COVID-19, and we hope that the high school football season doesn't get canceled early, and we hope that we get to see a full season, but just in case, all of these kids get to be honored as seniors for their senior night early in the season just to make sure that it gets done. This is your OEB Law Game of the Week. If you need to see what OEB Law can do for you, go to reckontoacheck.com or call 865-546-1111. We've got some more games around the area that we will talk about when we get back on BBB TV, Channel 12.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
And back at Dr. Nat Sugarman Field for your OEB Law Game of the Week. Senior night still going on here at Kingston. And if you look out there, Coach Gibson, quite a bit of seniors on this Kingston team.
A lot. And, you know, that's a testament to a 3A size school. You know, they're floating around 600 or they're bigger than that, aren't they, Aaron? About 800 students, 800 to 1,000. So pretty large senior class, but what a beautiful view out there. This big K out in the middle of the field that's painted. And this is just a beautiful atmosphere.
Yeah, I know we showed that when we came in, that big patriotic look. The end zone's checkered in red, white, and blue, as today is, of course, September 11th. I know you know where you were when September 11th happened. I know where I was when September 11th happened. It was a big day in our country's history, and so Kingston going all out for September 11th with the field painting. The numbers are red, white, and blue. You'll get a great look at that as this game goes on as well, but wonderful field out here at Roane County High School. That K in the center. Just beautiful.
It's one of the most beautiful setups I've seen in high school football in a while, and it's a testament to this community. Kingston, that took a lot of work and effort and money, to be honest with you. So that's awesome.
Yeah, as you see on your screen now, you can see all the seniors for this Kingston team, and then right behind the seniors, you got that beautiful K, that red, white, and blue with stars. Just fantastic. Can't say enough about the job that Kingston, whoever painted this field did for Kingston in this game tonight. So let's talk about some other games going on in the area tonight. You know, Wartburg was expected to have a pretty decent year this year, and I think Coach Kevin Heumann would agree that the Bulldogs haven't met expectations. You know, Oakdale, on the other hand, has started hot, taking midway into the fourth quarter last week. Can your old team put it together and get the win over the Eagles of Oakdale?
Well, it's been a struggle for Wartburg so far in 2020, but I expect them to get back on track tonight versus the well-coached Oakdale Eagles. Interesting note, Wartburg head coach Kevin Heumann, he actually won a state championship at Oakdale Middle School back in 2014, and he was hired at Wartburg Middle School shortly after that and then went on to Wartburg High School. So it'll be a good game up there tonight. I'd say Oakdale's pretty fired up to play him, and same for him.
He did really nice things with that Wartburg Middle School team. Has a lot of those same players that he coached in middle school now that are upperclassmen for him at Wartburg High School. So it'll be interesting to see how that team responds to the slow start they've had this season. Now, let's talk about Oak Ridge and Farragut. Okay, a really, really competitive game there for the first half of that. Tell me your impressions of watching that last night.
What a game for the Admirals. You know, after that disappointing first showing versus West, I kind of crossed them off. But boy, was I wrong. They bounced back in a big way as they rolled up 470 yards of offense and 25 first downs. Two bright spots for Oak Ridge was quarterback Mitchell Gibbons. Aaron, he went 29 for 52, 343 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then their freshman wide receiver, Brandon Hayward, he had 5 catches for 109 yards. So they're building something special at Oak Ridge. It's going to take a little time.
Yeah, let's look at some of the other games of interest tonight around the area. It's a really good night for high school football. You've got Midway at Cosby, Monterey at Harriman. Of course, our game tonight, and Oliver Springs traveling to Northview Academy. Oliver Springs is going to look to get it back on track. Campbell County at Seymour, Anderson County at South Doyle. That's going to be a great game. And Coalfield and Sunbright playing tomorrow, in fact. And then, of course, as we mentioned, Oakdale travels to Wartburg. So some pretty great games in the area tonight. All right, so those are some games around the area. When we get back, we will talk about our game specifically as Rockwood has ventured to Kingston to take on the Yellow Jackets in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices. Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
And back at Kingston High School for your OEB Law Game of the Week. And here's a sight that I have missed. A Roane County band is playing pregame. We've not seen a lot of that so far this season, but always good to see that, isn't it, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. It's just a great sight, especially on 9/11. Have this patriotic band out here on this patriotic scene tonight. So It's outstanding.
It is. It's really a sight to behold. And one of the things that personally I really enjoy about sports is this patriotic aspect of it, because you do stand before every game for a national anthem, and there is a moment of silence. You've got the flag waving in the air. So there's a very American feel to sports in this country, and so I'm glad that in a year, 2020, where we've seen a lot of division in this country this year, I'm glad that we could get into sports and maybe get that feel of the patriotic, very American feel that sports brings.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to focus on what brings us together rather than what separates us. So good talk.
And what brings these two teams together tonight is a matchup for Roane County Pride. As you see the graphic on the screen there, this is Rockwood's 101st season of football. How about that? They've got a state title in 1976, and just 3 years before that, Kingston won a state title in 1973 in AA. Coach John Webb, 5-19 versus Kingston, so he'll be looking to try to get a rare victory against these Yellow Cats tonight, or these Yellow Jackets tonight, as we stand for our national anthem. Wonderful performance of our national anthem on September 11th.
Hey, Coach.
As we get ready for tonight's matchup, and I guess people probably heard you say that. You got to see an old friend.
Yeah, run into Larry Davis, my old high school football coach, who's now an assistant here at Rockwood. Can't get away from the game. He needs some retirement there, but hey, he's sticking close.
That's a guy that has a lot of time invested in football, for sure. So, back to tonight's matchup. So, on our featured game, it's Kingston, it's Rockwood. You know, Kingston's looked impressive so far this season. Coach Pankey's team opened with a win over Harriman, had 2 weeks off for COVID-19, and came back strong last week, knocking off Austin East 35-14. And Rockwood has kind of been hit or miss. The Tigers needed a 2-point conversion in overtime to beat Midway in week 1. Looked very mediocre in a week 2 loss to Sweetwater, but came back with fury last week, dominating Oliver Springs 35-8. Are both of these teams in stride now?
Well, it sure seems that way, as both teams are coming off big wins last week with the help of some playmakers. And Rockwood's number 1, Jaidan Hannibal, who amassed 4 touchdowns versus Oliver Springs. And Kingston's number, I think, 51, Mason Hatfield, who had 11 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1 quarterback sack versus AE. So these guys stepped up in a big way and secured the win.
And how about that win over AE? That was a region win that gets Kingston just one step closer in this crazy season to another playoff berth.
That let everyone know that Kingston's legit.
Yeah. As you see the Region 2 3A standings there, you've got Alcoa, Gatlinburg-Pittman, and then Kingston. And traditionally, Kingston has been better than Pigeon Forge, Scott High, Northview Academy, but not as good as Austin East. So getting that win against Austin East just propels them one step closer, like I said, to a playoff berth this early in the season.
It really does, and Alcoa is obviously in the forefront of that. But what a big game tonight for them versus Maryville. But you're absolutely right. Kingston, traditionally is used to being number one in this region way back in the day. And Coach Pankey's come back in here trying to turn this program around, and so far he's done a pretty good job, and stands a pretty good record versus Rockwood as well.
And speaking of that, Rockwood's not won this game since 2013, and that was the only win for the Tigers in this decade. So, in this series in this decade, I should say. Kingston's a bigger school, so that's expected a little bit. But how much of a streak like that, how much does that play into the minds of the kids in this game tonight?
It does take an effect. I don't care what anyone says. But this is a bunch of Tigers that's dramatically improved since we last watched them compete. So this is going to be a great matchup.
All right, so you've seen both of these teams play. So you kind of know their strengths or weaknesses. Not only that, but it's Coach Pankey. We generally know what he's going to do versus Coach Webb. We generally know what Coach Webb is going to do. What are the keys for these teams tonight?
Well, for Rockwood, they have got to make every drive count on offense, control time of possession, and play disciplined defense. And for Kingston, they have got to limit mistakes, play clean football, force Rockwood to be uncomfortable by playing behind the chains. If they do that, it's going to be a tough matchup here.
We're so excited for this game tonight, and we're so excited to have OEB Law on board with us again. They'll do absolutely everything they can in order to help people no matter what their situation is. Personal injury, low-cost agreed divorce, workers' compensation, criminal defense, wills, medical malpractice, nursing home neglect, bad drug or medical devices. They pretty much do it all. For more information, you can go to reckontoacheck.com or pick up the phone, call 865-546-1111. It's Rockwood at Kingston in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
And welcome back to your Channel 12 Game of the Week, brought to you by OEB Law. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by the coach, James Gibson, getting ready for a Roane County matchup tonight. And we talked about how Kingston has dominated this series in the past, and Rockwood has only won this game 4 times in the last, how many years? It's going back all the way to 1996. And one of those games was in double overtime when, in 1997, they defeated Kingston 41-35. So, really, coming into this game and seeing how Kingston has dominated like they have, you would expect Kingston to win this game tonight. But anytime I see 2 Roane County teams play each other, I know that it's never that easy.
Yeah, and especially what Rockwood did to Oliver Springs last week. You know, they had a really slow start against Sweetwater. They were sluggish. They did not look in shape. And I just wasn't too up on Rockwood after that game. And then seeing what they did to Oliver Springs, I tell you what, that was a different bunch. And I'm excited to see what happens tonight. This is a classic, hard, slobber-knocking football game that you'll see tonight. So I'm excited, and I think all of our fans that's watching on Facebook and all across East Tennessee are going to have a good show.
So we just saw the coin toss on the screen. Rockwood won that and deferred to the second half. So Kingston's going to receive to start this football game. And what's the preference as the coach? What's the strategy if you win the coin toss? Because I see it both ways. I think more people defer to the second half, but I do see a lot of teams receive too. So what's the strategy behind that?
It really just depends on whatever your game plan is. If you want to have the ball or if you feel like you're in a better position to shut them out and get the ball in the second half. So it really just depends, and sometimes you'll see coaches, they'll plan for, say, to defer all week long, and they get up to game time and they say, well, I want the ball now. So
is it just a gut feeling?
It's kind of a gut feeling, but a lot of film prep goes into it, but you'll see coaches make that gut feeling.
So Rockwood has run out. Again, we would like to thank OEB Law. We'd actually like to thank all of our sponsors as well. You've got Hammers sponsoring all of our first downs tonight. Kickoffs will be sponsored by Davis Funeral Home. Our replays are brought to you by Congressman Chuck Fleischman. I'd also like to thank Harriman Utility Board, Oak Ridge Utility District, Evans Mortuary, SL Bowman and Sons, Griffin Insurance, Rockwood Natural Gas, and the City of Rockwood. So thank you to all of these sponsors who allow us to get up here and bring this game broadcast to you so that if you are not able to get out into the stands tonight to watch a football game, we hope that you will enjoy tonight's game with us tonight. So, Coach Larry Davis was your head coach when you were at Wartburg. Well, that guy's coached.
Well, he was also the head coach at Rockwood back in, I believe, the late 80s. These coaching staffs of Kingston and Rockwood have many years underneath their belt collectively on each staff. There's traditionally, I've told you this many times, there's not much better football than Roane County football traditionally in East Tennessee, dominating throughout the years, except for the last 15 years, things have kind of dropped off, but still you see the talent week in, week out.
As the officials are kind of getting upset because Kingston's not come out of the locker room yet. Looking at the clock, the pregame clock, it's down to below 30 seconds. And now the officials are asking to add 2 minutes onto the clock. So we'll have a little bit of, would you call this undertime instead of overtime? Extra time before the game starts?
They're taking their time coming out. They're fired up. It's a big game. And I want to say thank you to all the public safety employees that's out here tonight, the police officers, sheriff's department employees, EMTs, everybody out here that's checking temperatures. It's a collective group of people that have to come out and support high school athletics every Friday night. So it's a absolutely amazing atmosphere out here at Kingston tonight.
You were talking about coaching staffs. I noticed on this Kingston coaching staff is one Preston Gallagher, who is a former Rockwood player, and also Josh King is on this coaching staff, who is a former Kingston player. So some Roane County alum staying within the county and joining coaching staff. So this will be a fun game for Mr. Preston Gallagher to play against his old team. And now we get Kingston all bundled up, and they're going to run out. And you get to hear this crowd, which is right in front of us. I tell you what, man, it feels great. And I know I touched on this just a little bit earlier, but to finally get to football after all of the uncertainty, not knowing if we were going to be here, I'm so happy to be able to see this and to be here. All right.
It'll be interesting to see what Rockwood does right off the rip here on the kickoff. As we've seen them play Sweetwater, they elected to do a lot of squib kicks, not very far at all, and they stayed behind in field position almost every time they kicked off. So let's see if they elect to kick deep.
That's a good point. This is your Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home with locations in Wartburg and Harriman. Set to kick is Barnes. Lets it fly. That kick is taken at the 15. Bringing it past the 20, up to the 25, down at the 30. And that is Marcus Rose on the return. And so Kingston will have a Hammers 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line to start this game.
Ball spotted at the Yellow Jacket 30-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, Kingston.
Kingston led by junior quarterback Kane Collins.
Collins is a tough quarterback. He really will hold on to that ball until the very last second in that pocket. He will take a big hit to deliver a good pass.
Decent athlete, too. Will take off and run with it. Fakes a handoff. Speaking of which, a planned quarterback keeper to start this game, and making the edge is Collins. Collins shimmies before he steps out of bounds. If he hadn't stepped out of bounds, he would have gained a few more yards.
Good stiff arm by Collins, straight to the face. Couldn't grab anything. That's a great job by the quarterback.
Collins, too, another thing that I can say about Collins, we saw him play last year. He had an average arm. Not anymore. This kid has improved his arm strength as we see that replay. Wow. I tell you what, he gave Zadrian Fickey the business. As we saw that on our Chuck Fleischman replay. So Collins has an arm on him, and he will unload sometimes, just not very often. And here's Collins on the option. Here's the pitch out. And getting the first down for Kingston is Carson Donathan.
Good job by Collins there to just fake that triple option just enough to get that defensive end to suck down inside, and he elected to pitch it and picked up first down.
The Hammers 1st and 10. So Kingston starting this game with the ball is on the move. This time, 3 wideouts to the right for Collins, 1 man in the backfield, and it is a handoff going the other direction. And again, that goes to Donathan. A couple yards on that. We'll give him 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Second down, 7.
And now Kingston brings 3 wideouts to the left side of the field. Collins back to pass, lets it go, and that is caught, and wow, Fickey with the spear.
He definitely wasn't going to miss that tackle after the first stiff arm he took. Really good job following through with the tackle, keeping his feet driving forward, and a great secure tackle. Big 3rd down here for Kingston. Let's see what they elect to do. Keep an eye on for some sort of a draw or screen. Potentially even a hard count here.
Yeah, 3rd and 4. A hard count would award Kingston with the first down.
21 personnel.
And Collins with a pass. It's complete. Goes to Cox.
Isaac Cox is a really good-looking athlete. He does a really good job getting just enough separation from the defensive back to get a good catch. And if he can get just a little separation, he can turn the Jets on and burn you.
As we see this on our Chuck Fleischman replay, Collins just catches it and instantly looks to get it out of his hands quickly. And Cox is there to get the reception and the Hammers 1st and 10. And now we have a stop and play. Oh, sounds like we've got equipment errors. Let's see, Mr. Whitehouse. What White Hat, I should say, not Mr. Whitehouse. He wants the clock to reset.
9:16 on the clock,
So they get 9:16 on the clock, and we get set to play again. Collins.
Pulling the guard.
Hand off to the fullback. And getting big yardage there for Kingston is Diggs. Good run right up the gap.
Number 1, Jaidan Hannibal.
Landon Diggs is a big body fullback. He's going to be hard. He will wear down that defensive line of Rockwood if they continue to try to arm tackle that big body.
Kingston's got a lot of really good athletes.
Well, and if you notice early on, they are subbing a lot, and that will take a big toll on Rockwood.
This time, Collins lines up in a wing T set. Handoff going around the right side, and not much there. Ouch. Goodner with a carry.
Jackson Kelly with a big hit. That big tackle, he was hungry and looking for something to eat, wasn't he?
Oh, man.
I tell you what, that's a good tackle by a big old defensive tackle. Running all the way to the sideline and making a good, secure tackle.
And more importantly, that brings up a third down situation. I think this part of the field, Kingston's probably looking at 4-down territory. So I'm sure Rockwood knows they're going to have to get 2 stops here as Kingston going to line up in an empty set. 3 wideouts and a man in motion, and Collins is going to keep it and be brought down at the 30, and no gain on the play will bring up 4th down.
Really good job by the Rockwood linebackers coming in there, filling that gap. They seen it open, they attacked, and stopped him.
And looking at the Chuck Fleischman replay, yeah, really, Collins had the option to hand that ball off right there, it looked like, and I don't think either decision that could be made would have resulted in positive yards with the way Rockwood played that.
Now let's see what happens here. Last time we watched Rockwood versus Sweetwater, we've seen a lot of jumping off sides with the defense. So let's see if that defensive line has worked on that, and let's see if Kingston tries to draw them off sides on the 4th and short.
Collins with a quick snap, in fact, goes to Donathan. Donathan has the first down by about a yard. So Kingston will get a fresh set of downs, and we'll have a Hammers 1st and 10.
That hurt. And Rockwood actually had a player run free there, big number 69, 6'4", 295-pound Jackson Kelly, and he fell down. So defensively, schematically, that was a great call by the Rockwood defensive staff. Just had a breakdown there.
Ball is spotted at the 25.
They really like running to the tight end side out of this.
And Kingston wants a timeout to talk about this one. So we are scoreless with 6:29 left to go in the first quarter of your OEB Law Game of the week.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacle blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Line of scrimmage.
So back at our OEB Law Game of the Week as Kingston is looking to capitalize on its very first drive of the game, which started at the 30-yard line, and so far the Yellow Jackets have made it down to the Rockwood 25. This one.
Rockwood's going to have to really watch the off-tackle runs. They've been running tight end side with a lot of jet sweeps, off-tackle runs, and that quarterback will keep it right up the gut.
Here's Collins with 3 men to the right, hands off, and nothing there for Rose. Tackled in the backfield, in fact.
Stop for a loss by number 72, Story. Second down, 12.
So great defensive effort by
Collins
Rockwood
with 3 men to the right.
Hands off. About 3 on the play to bring up 2nd and 13.
Great job by Story there, the defensive tackle for Rockwood. He stayed in the hip of the pulling guard and led him right to the play.
We're under 6 to play now in this first quarter. So for half of the quarter, Kingston has had the football. Again, 3 wide set for Kingston, and again, handoff goes this time to Diggs, the fullback, and Diggs gets it across the 25 down to about the 22.
Tripped there by number 10, Landon Watts. 3rd and 8.
So it looked like Kingston ran the same play there, but with different personnel.
Yeah, basically. I don't think that he had an option on that. I think that was a straight give, but the play before looked more like an option. So it's tough running down here, but pretty good game plan, 3rd and about 8. Let's see what they do here. Empty formation, trips to the wide side.
Man in motion now. That's Donathan. Donathan does not get the handoff. Collins keeps it to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Kingston. And you know what? I'm going to replace you with Brad Jones. Okay?
He hit it right on the head. He said quarterback draw.
That's what he said. He said quarterback's going to keep it, and certainly, as we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, Collins outran everyone once he got into that defensive secondary of Rockwood, and Kingston has put 6 up on the board. On to attempt the extra point for the Yellow Jackets is Cade Roberts. And that's up, and it's good. So Kingston has the ball for over 7 minutes before they punch it into the end zone, and they lead this one 7-0 on your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacle blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Back at your OEB Law Game of the Week, I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by the coach James Gibson, and now joined by Mr. Tim Elrod of OEB Law. And once again, OEB Law here presenting that $1,000 check to Kingston High School, and I don't know, you just can't thank you enough for your contribution to the community and how you allow us to bring this game to everybody.
Hey, yeah, you're right. It's exciting to be here. I love coming to these games. Giving $1,000 to the home school is, it's the least we can do to help, and, I think all businesses should chip in a little bit more than they do maybe, but you can see the community support around the stadium here tonight. The community has chipped in, and you've got a full house tonight, and it's a good game.
Conan Littlefield with your Davis Funeral Home kickoff, taken at about the 28 and getting up the field, a huge return pass. Midfield is Octavius Worthy. So Rockwood will have excellent field position to begin its first possession of this game. So this is Roane County football, Roane County rivalry. You're an Anderson County guy yourself, so you have to be familiar with the history of these two programs.
Sure. this is a long series. It's a great series. Brad was kind enough to help me out. Excuse me, on Sports Talk. I kind of pumped up the game, and Brad was kind enough to send me a little history. Made me sound real smart, but yeah, Roane County football is just smash mouth football,
and you love it if you're a historical football fan. As here is Rockwood, the first carry of the game goes to Dakota Waldo, and Waldo is still on his feet.
Yeah, this is what we saw last week out of Rockwood. Do they have the explosive plays to counter a sustained drive? It seems like it's going to, Rockwood could explode at any moment, and they could, and Kingston could just continually drive that ball down the field. So it should be a great game. I'm excited.
Yeah, and this looks a lot different from what we saw in that Rockwood Sweetwater game, as Rockwood Handoff up the middle goes to Octavius Worthy, and Worthy's tackled at about the 25. Rockwood's on the move. This team looks like they are ready to play.
They do, man. They do, and it's good to see the community out too. You know, you've got a packed house here tonight, but at the same time, you know, you can see people are wearing their masks and staying with their family and their groups and enjoying a great time at the game.
Every temperature had to be checked before they came in to the stadium tonight to see this one, and so we hope that you're at home enjoying this one. It's going to be a good one as Kingston takes its second time out of the game. Mr. Elrod, we're so happy to have you here, and we know that you enjoy the community and you want to give back to the community. Tell us how people can find out more about OEB Law and what OEB Law can do for them.
Well, you can always check our social media. As a matter of fact, my daughter Shelby, she's an intern doing some of the social media now, so shout out to her. Is that what you say nowadays? I don't even know. Probably not. Probably look like a nerd now or something. I don't know. Anyway, not that there's anything wrong with that.
So I have no idea. So, well, thank you very much. Go to reckontoacheck.com. Give OEB Law a call. I heard what you were talking about yesterday. You made him sound smart on Sports Talk, or he made you sound smart on Sports Talk, and you were talking about how you do Tiger coverage as well.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, they just wouldn't let him free.
No, they wouldn't.
He was one step away probably.
Octavius
but yeah,
Worthy.
Jimmy Hines, he's in a secret location, and there was a tiger loose. It was an eventful day in Knoxville yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, the plane landed also on 640. It's a nutty time in this year everywhere across the world, but it's never a dull moment here in East Tennessee. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and appreciate all the support that you give to the communities.
Absolutely glad to do it. Is he going to get the corner?
He does. Does he get in? He does.
Yeah.
Dryston Turner, touchdown. Rockwood, you get to be here for another touchdown.
Explosive plays. That's what Rockwood's got this year. Can Kingston hold up to maybe a shootout? I don't know.
It's going to be a fun game, so thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping us be here tonight to see this one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That is Tim Elrod of OEB Law. He always joins us for these very exciting parts of the game. It's amazing.
Seems like every time he joins us, there's some kind of big play or big touchdown. We need to get him up here more often.
And we've got a timeout. Rockwood is going to take a timeout after they put 6 points on the board. So this is interesting. We'll see what they do when we get back on your OEB Law Game of the Week.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Back into your OEB Law Game of the Week as Rockwood needed a timeout for some reason. They're going to attempt the extra point with Wayne Best. It is up, and it is no good. They're going to say it was wide left. So Kingston retains the lead at 7-6.
That's a big miss extra point.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices. Race on down!
Back into your OEB Law Game of the Week. Kingston leads this 7-6. Now, right before we went to break, you said that's a big missed extra point. And I got to say, in a game, this one looks like it's going to be a little back and forth. That 1 point can make a huge difference.
It really does. And Kingston normally has always got a kicker. They always do. And Rockwood, that's one of their weaker points. So that could play a huge part in this game later on.
So Rockwood's Wayne Best gets ready for your Davis Funeral Home kickoff, and it is a good kickoff that's going to be taken at the 20 by Kingston and brought up to the 25, wrapped up and brought down at the 31. And on that return was Aaron McKinney.
Derek Houston in on the tackle, really good secure tackle. So Kingston coming out with decent field position, not anything too traumatic. Rockwood can manage that. Rockwood, let's see what kind of adjustments they make defensively after the dominating drive that Kingston just had.
Well, it's interesting as we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay. Of course, Chuck Fleischman has been your congressman since 2010, serving in Anderson, Morgan, and Roane counties. Kingston started its first drive on the 30 and had over a 7-minute drive.
It's impressive.
To score. So Kingston playing a game of ball control early. Let's see what they do on this drive. Lining up in a wing T formation as Collins will keep it and go up the middle. Almost makes a man miss, but Jack Alexander there to get that tackle in open field.
Great fake by the quarterback, number 2. That was an excellent fake. I believe he faked everybody out in the whole stadium here. That was a really good play, and he had one man to miss, and he's probably scoring.
Collins, as a junior, a great asset to this team with his ability to throw the football, but also his ability to make decisions and to make plays with his feet. So wing T set again, and this time Collins is going to keep again. He had to. That play was blown up in the backfield, and Collins gets close to the 40-yard line before he's brought down. Will bring up 3rd and short.
Brought down by number 20, Houston.
As we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay.
3rd and 3 from the 39.
Big Nehemiah Story, 5'11", 260, broke up that play. He broke through the Kingston offensive line in a hurry.
3rd and 2, and Kingston converted on every 3rd down last drive. Staying in that same wing T formation, man in motion, that's Rose. Rose gets it going from right to left. He's tripped up, but not before he gets the first down and actually fumbled the football.
Yeah, and he still should be running. He got tripped up there, but that was a beautiful play. They pulled the guard, number 54. He was leading block, and there was no one there, so he tripped over grass.
Now let's see what you're talking about on this Chuck Fleischman replay. Broke through there. Ooh. Yeah, and he came up hobbled a little bit, as you saw. That was Octavius Worthy.
So Octavius Worthy snuck in there and made the tackle. Good job. He's a heck of an athlete for Rockwood.
Yeah, he's already had a big impact in this game for the Tigers.
And he's running the ball with fury.
So this time, Collins.
Look for the option.
Fakes the handoff. Now he's going to look downfield and has a man there. It's Donathan. Pass is complete. Donathan crosses the Tiger 45 down to the 44, and another Hammers 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets.
Good play by Kingston. They fake the ball to him, and he runs wide open down the middle of the field and just toss and catch. Fake the ball.
There's the fake.
He's running wide open. Linebacker broke down coverage. Boom.
And, yeah, he got Donathan, who came out of the backfield. So you fake the handoff to him, and then he runs a route, gets open. And now getting the ball up the middle is Diggs. Diggs breaks free, has enough for another Hammers 1st and 10. Zadrian Fickey gets the tackle, but not before Kingston gains 11 yards.
You are not going to arm tackle him. He is a big body. He's a hard runner. Rockwood's going to have to tighten up in the tackling department if they expect to slow down this Kingston offense. Look at this. Rumbling and a stumbling. Low pad level. That's what you want to see out of a running back.
Under 30 seconds to play in this first quarter as Collins gets the play. Let's see. Looking at the difference between the play clock. Play clock is off. So, 10 seconds. Kingston doesn't have to run a play here, but they probably will. Well, I say that, but they're not going to get it off. That's the end of the first quarter. Kingston leads this one 7-6 in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys? Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Back at your OEB Law Game of the Week. And we would like to thank the City of Rockwood for being a sponsor of today's game. The Mayor of Rockwood and council members Steve Bryant, Jason Jolly, Shane True, Mike Fuller, Harold Holloway, and Bobby Anderson are all big fans of the Rockwood Fighting Tigers and hope they have a winning season this year so that they'll be in the playoff picture at the end of the regular season. As Mayor Brillo Miller would say, go Tigers, play hard tonight and win, win, win. And so far the Tigers have played hard tonight. They just haven't been able to stop this Kingston offense.
No, and time of possession is a big telltale so far. Kingston's held the ball 10 minutes and 38 seconds to Rockwood's 1 minute and 42. So that's not good if you're Rockwood.
And Kingston is in no hurry whatsoever. Collins sends a man in motion. And there's a fumble. And falling on it was Ryland Guttner. And
very talented young freshman, just got a little too hesitant with the ball there. High and tight. Secure the ball before you run.
Yeah, just never, it wasn't a clean handoff. And so Guttner very fortunate to be able to fall back on that one. We see this on the Chuck Fleischman replay. It actually hit the shoes of Cameron Basler and popped back into the backfield, so very fortunate. That ball is shaped funnily. So here's Collins, rolls out, looks downfield, has a man there. It's caught. Dickey with the tackle. That pass is complete and stop made at the 25. Goes to Zane Ryans, and Kingston will be looking at a 3rd and short now.
Really good job, great play. Good job by the quarterback setting his feet, taking his time, identify the wide open tight end. Good simple throw and catch. He has really developed this offseason as a true quarterback.
He is. I was watching film from last season of him, and it wasn't that he was a bad quarterback last year, but I would say he was an average quarterback, and he doesn't look like that anymore.
He's definitely learned how to play the game.
Wing T set, handoff, no. Collins keeps it with his fullback as a lead blocker. Gets up to about the 18-yard line. That'll be enough for another. Hammers 1st and 10.
Brought down by number 23, Thurman. At the Rockwood 18.
It's not a bad idea at all to ever have Landon Diggs as a lead blocker for you.
That only helps. But something I have noticed early on is there is not a lot of size difference in Rockwood's offensive line and Kingston's offensive line. What the big difference is the amount of bodies that they are rotating in. Kingston is substituting heavy and Rockwood very light.
So this time, Collins, handoff, goes to Rose. Rose from right to left is going to be stopped and dropped by Vicky at the 20.
He ran through that stiff arm, Aaron. He was not letting that happen again.
You wonder if that first play where Collins kind of threw him down, if that made him like play harder.
Oh, you know it did, Aaron. That's just like in basketball, Aaron. You going up for a shot and somebody blocks your shot, you're going to come back harder next time.
As we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, oh yeah.
Get that head across that body and run through the stiff arm. Good job.
Loss of 1.5.
He's made some great plays since that first stiff arm.
He has. He has. He's probably thinking, this is on television, and, they probably just made fun of me. Like, I'm not letting that happen again. He's definitely made up for it. I'll say that.
It happens to the best.
Collins drops back to pass. And coming back for it is Cox. Cox crosses the 10 down to the 6-yard line, and it will be a Hammers 1st and goal for the Yellow Jackets.
Really good footwork by the quarterback, good field vision, getting your eyes down the field over that big offensive line. His footwork was on point on that last play. Watch his footwork here. Easy. He steps up into the throw. Easy, simple catch.
And Cox is a really great athlete, knows what to do with that football when he gets an opportunity in space. And now we have a timeout, Rockwood. Rockwood has used its second timeout in the game. They're going to try to keep Kingston out of the end zone. We'll see if they can when we get back to your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Back at your OEB Law Game of the Week, Aaron Harvey joined by the coach, James Gibson. And OEB Law, we're glad to have them on board with us again this season. And OEB Law turns your wreck into a check. Any wreck, big or small, can turn your life upside down with bills, inconvenience, lost wages, and stress. OEB understands and knows you need a full and fair compensation for those losses and to help you get your life back to normal as soon as possible. Go to wreckintoacheck.com to see what OEB can do for you. So Kingston has it. Hammers first and goal from the 6-yard line. Collins will send two wideouts to either side.
Rockwood in man coverage. Watch for a scramble.
And Diggs in the backfield will get the handoff up the middle. He's going to score. Touchdown, Kingston. So Kingston tacks on 6 more. Will attempt the extra point here. Look at this Chuck Fleischman replay.
It's a great job by that. Too much moving in the backfield. The linebackers for Rockwood are trying to eye through the offensive line and peek in the backfield, and they're standing straight up, and they're not reacting to the ball.
The extra point is up, and it is good. And that was Cade Roberts with the extra point. So Kingston now leads it 14-6. We'll see how Rockwood responds when we get back.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Rinnai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Rinnai, hot water for all.
Back at Dr. Nat Sugarman Field as Kingston with the Davis Funeral Home kickoff. It's a short one taken at the 28-yard line. Getting upfield quickly for Rockwood, it looks like Owen Heil. And it looked like Kingston doesn't want to kick to Hannibal.
I wouldn't want to kick to Hannibal, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
After 4 touchdowns versus Oliver Springs. And, I mean, he's a walking highlight reel. I believe he's about 120 pounds soaking wet. And I don't know what his 40 is, but it is fast.
Well, what's interesting about that is the first kickoff, they kicked it to Octavius Worthy. And then I think they discovered they didn't want to kick it to Worthy either. So this time they gave it to Heil. Heil gets the football up to the 37-yard line, which is still pretty good field position for your Hammers 1st and 10. Under center this time as a new quarterback has entered the game. Handoff goes to Waldo. Waldo with a big yardage around the right side. Picks up about 7 before he's brought down. And this is Dryston Turner who stepped into this game.
That's an interesting. We'll have to see what's going on there.
For your Hammers 1st and 10.
Or if they just needed to change pace of offense. But what a running back Waldo is. Look at him on this screen. Great field vision. He's not the fastest guy, but he is one of the stronger guys out there running that football. And he's got really good field vision.
Worthy in the backfield, and Worthy will get the handoff on a dive play, and not much there.
Mason Hatfield bounced through the Rockwood offensive line for a big defensive play. This kid last week had 11 tackles against Austin East. He is the real deal, and you will be hearing this kid's name a lot over the next few years.
So a loss of 1 on the play will bring up 3rd and 7 for this Rockwood team.
Well, let's see what they do here with the change of quarterback. I'm sure there's some uncomfortability going on here at the wide receiver position.
And that was a quarterback keeper all the way. And Turner is met with a boomstick. Just shy. It looked like he was going to get the first down all the way, and somehow he didn't.
I'll tell you how he didn't was Braden Wright coming up there with a great tackle. I mean, that's classic. That's what you think of when you say Rome County football, you know?
Yeah. It almost looked like Turner kind of slipped too, which made that impact even worse. So
big play. It looks like they might be trying to go for it here, Aaron.
Coach John Webb sends his play in.
Watch for hard counts.
Nope, no hard count here.
Oh.
Worthy up the middle. Crosses midfield, and Rockwood with a Hammers 1st and 10.
You keep feeding him, keep feeding him. The offensive line's doing a good job there, getting low and getting a good push. You see they pushed the Rockwood defensive line the Kingston defensive line 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. You can't ask for no better if you're Rockwood. They got to continue that. That quarterback has got to take charge of that offense and look in the eyes of his teammates and get the best out of them.
Turner fakes a handoff, now gives it to Waldo. Waldo running the wrong direction, is wrapped up and dropped. Meeting him first was Isaac Cox. Big loss on the play.
Yeah, that play's designed to be bounced inside, not outside. The defensive end was sitting there waiting on him, made him bounce outside. Good job by the Kingston defense rallying to the football. As you see here, the Kingston defensive line at the top of the screen makes him bounce outside. He actually missed a tackle, but he did his job of making him go on the outside of him, which gave time for those defensive backs to rally to the football.
You call that setting the edge, don't you?
Yes.
And now Landon Watts is in at quarterback for Rockwood. And the Tigers are going to use up their last timeout. So Rockwood trails this one 14-6 with 5:34 left to play in the first half.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
And welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week. Rockwood with a 2nd and 14 at midfield with under 6 minutes left to play in this first half. The Tigers trailing Kingston 14-6. And since the ball is placed at midfield, you get a great opportunity to look at this beautiful red, white, and blue K when they run this play. There it is. So Landon Watson at quarterback now. Takes the handoff, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. And we'll give that one to Jaquez Ashley. And Rockwood's going the wrong direction.
Yeah, just they look a little uncomfortable offensively tonight. And as you see here, he rolls out and sees nobody. He kind of panics a little bit. And that's what you kind of call a coverage sack. Kingston did a really good job defensively in the defensive backfield of maintaining coverage on their responsibilities. And there was just no one open.
So now Dryston Turner back in at quarterback on this 3rd and 17. Turner rolls to his left, looks upfield, and lets it fly. He's got a man there, and it's incomplete. And Hannibal, that was Hannibal's first attempt at getting a football all game long.
Yeah, and it was just kind of uncomfortable from the get-go. The quarterback rolled out. He had some time there. I'd like to see him just keep that and pick up a pretty big gain there, but it's all right. It's like to see Hannibal get some more opportunities, some more targets, but overall not too bad. Let's see how this punt goes for Octavius Worley.
Yeah, as a spectator, we want to see Hannibal with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
So back deep to receive for Kingston is Isaac Cox. And Turner lets this punt go.
Good punt.
Yeah, takes a Rockwood bounce, and Cox picks it up on a bounce and is able to pick up a few yardage afterwards. And Rockwood has not been able to stop this Kingston offense at all.
They really haven't. The time of possession is so one-sided that it's just not what you expect as a Rockwood fan. Rockwood's offense is designed to hold the ball as long as possible, time of possession. So let's see how they respond.
So Kingston, with 4:30 left to go in this first half, is not going to be in too big of a hurry, but they might go a little bit faster than they went the first two drives. And this is a big defensive drive for Rockwood. The Tigers will get the football to start the second half, but you don't want to go down 2 scores here. Collins sends 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Hands off. And getting across the 35 is Donathan, and
tackled at the 35 by number 2, Turner.
Donathan with a good pickup there on the Hammers 1st and 10.
1.
He gets 9.
That's a big pickup there, a little too big. If you see on the replay here, the defensive back, he does not charge the line of scrimmage. He kind of stands flat-footed, and that's where he makes the tackle. You want to see that safety come down hard and secure that tackle closer to the line of scrimmage.
Collins with the same set. Sends a man in motion. And Collins keeps it going up the middle. And that's been a great option for Kingston all game long. Pickup of 6 will bring up a Hammers 1st and 10.
Big play. That's Kingston football. And look for them to continue to have success in that department, because I've seen nothing out of Rockwood that shows me that they can stop that consistently. So Rockwood's defensive line is going to have to stay lower to the ground, get a little bit better push. Linebackers are going to have to tackle the line of scrimmage. Let's see how they respond. Kingston has looked really polished offensively tonight.
I would definitely agree with that. And again, same formation for Collins. This time he will hand off to Donathan. And Donathan brought down in the backfield by Octavius Worthy.
Stop the loss by number 8, Worthy. 2nd down and 11.
Great tackle. You can see Rockwood's got some pieces, man.
They do. Octavius, I tell you, he is someone I've been keeping my eye on for a couple years now, and I strongly believe that he can play at the next level if his academics are in order. You know, they call it student athlete for a reason, so academics are always first, but he is a heck of a football player and one of the better linebackers in Roane County.
Rose gets the handoff, and big yardage, finds a hole, stays on his feet, and is finally brought down by Dakota Waldo. Great pickup of about 14. Brings up a Hammers 1st and 10 as we near the 2-minute mark.
Rockwood substituting the big uglies up front and bringing in some fresh bodies to try to get a little bit more push activity up front for Rockwood's defensive line.
Ball spotted just inside the 45-yard line. And again, Rockwood has no answers for this Kingston offense.
Empty formation again for Kingston.
3 wideouts to the right, 2 to the left. Man in motion. That's Guttner. And he gets the handoff. Got wide receivers as lead blockers. Makes a man miss and gets up to the 38-yard line, and there's a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
And that flag is around the original line of scrimmage. Is where that was thrown.
Holding Kingston.
I believe that's a second or third target for Ryan Guttner. So they're really high on this young freshman wide receiver product. So keep that in mind moving forward. This guy's probably going to be a household name here in Roane County for a few years to go.
See if we can see it on the replay.
Yeah, right there on Octavius Worthy. Really good job by him of trying to shed that block and exposing that holding.
Yeah. And I believe that's the first penalty of this game. It's been a very clean football game
It
so
is.
far.
It really is.
But that backs Kingston back 10 yards, so it will be 1st and 20. With just 1:20 left to play in this first half. So the clock is winding down on this Yellow Jacket team, which has no timeouts remaining. Collins fakes a handoff. Looking downfield, lets it go. Pass is almost caught as Isaac Cox laid out for it, but you had 2 Yellow Jackets down there to 1 Rockwood defender.
Yeah, it's definitely the right play call, and a good job by the quarterback throwing it to where no Rockwood defender could catch it, only where his man could potentially catch it. So not too bad, just need to be thrown a little bit harder.
All right, 2nd and 10. I'm sorry, 2nd and 20.
Yeah, it's 2nd and forever here. So this is not Kingston football. This ain't quite what they're designed to do. So let's see what they elect to do here. Always keep your eye on a screen or draw.
Yeah, Collins sends Rose in motion.
Screen.
Here's the screen to Donathan. Donathan changes his direction, goes up the middle, picks up 9 of those yards back, but that will bring up 3rd and 11, and the clock is running.
Now, that's more manageable, though, Aaron. 3rd and 11 is a lot more manageable than 3rd and 20. So good play call by the offensive coordinator for Kingston.
And I would say that Kingston probably feels very comfortable going all 4 downs here.
Yes.
With the clock as low as it is, and Rockwood's offense not designed for big plays. 5 wide for Collins. Gets the snap, looks, now just lets it fly on a go route. 1-on-1, Cox versus Turner, and wonderful coverage by Dryston Turner there.
Great coverage by the defensive back there. That's what you want to see, a true battle all the way around there. Good job by Dryston Turner, the sophomore defensive back, 5'10", 175. Just a great play, going up high, pointing the ball, turns his shoulders, to where he does not get a pass interference call.
Yeah, and was in a position to maybe intercept that football. So with 25 seconds left to go in this first half, Kingston has it 4th and 11. And, of course, with just 25 seconds left, you think the Yellow Jacks are going to go for it. And, of course, they are.
Kind of interested in seeing what they elect to do here.
Collins has 3 wideouts to the left, drops back to pass, and lets it go.
Good
Same
throw.
play. And a great throw, and it's dropped by Marcus Rose.
Oh, he's sick. He's sick. That great throw, great play call. Little bit of a bust in coverage there, but overall not an awful job by Rockwood. You see just a little bit of separation with that number 1 wide receiver electing to come inside.
Oh.
Just missed it. Hit him right in the hands, too. That's
right in the hands. Wonderful throw. That would have set Rockwood up. Or I'm sorry, that would have set Kingston up inside of Rockwood's red zone with still 20 seconds left to play. So Kingston, a missed opportunity there.
That's a big drop right here, big drop.
Yes, because remember, Rockwood will get the football to start the second half.
And they can score quick. I know they're not designed for it, but they're athletes that they have. I'm looking nobody but Jaidan Hannibal here.
Turner with a hard count. Handoff goes to Waldo. Waldo tries to get outside and does. Still on his feet. Still on his feet. Crosses midfield, across the 45 down to about the 42. And Waldo trying to get his team to hurry up to get to the line of scrimmage. The clock will start after they move the chains. That's a great run by Waldo.
He's got great field vision, Aaron.
The clock has started, and Turner spikes it. That was a little late, wasn't it?
Quarterback Turner.
I'm just glad that he had the hand motion correct, because it looked like he just caught it and dropped it, which would have been a fumble. But
right.
I guess he did have some forward motion in his drop.
Timeout, Kingston.
So Kingston takes time. I didn't think Kingston had a timeout. Okay, well, I've been telling you wrong then. With 7.3 seconds left, Kingston's going to take a timeout and talk about what they're going to do to stop Rockwood from getting into the end zone. You know, OEB Law is bringing you this coverage tonight. We are thankful to them, and they have a terrific team of lawyers, paralegals, legal assistants, and support staff that knows the effect a car wreck or injury can have on a person. Their team works extremely hard to help resolve their claims so that they can move forward from a tragic incident and focus on rebuilding and recovering their life with a full and fair compensation, whether it's through a settlement or a lawsuit. That is OEB Law. Go to wreckintoacheck.com for more information to see what OEB Law can do for you. So really, what do you have time for here?
Well, if you're Rockwood and you're John Webb, I'm not really sure that you got the quarterback to be able to toss the ball, up for some type of 50-50 ball down deep. So I'm kind of interested to see what they do at the quarterback position. Who are they going with? First off, is it Jaidan Turner that they're going with at quarterback? So who knows what they're going to do here. They could lob one up. They could just try to get some momentum going here on some type of big, long scramble. Let's see what they do.
And Turner is in at quarterback. He rolls and is immediately under pressure. He's looking, going to keep it, and is brought down at the 35, and that is how the clock will expire. As going into the half, Kingston maintains that 14-6 lead over Rockwood in this Roane County rivalry. So you wonder what Turner was looking at. He was looking downfield before he decided to just tuck it and go. But it doesn't result in a turnover. Nobody got hurt. They're going to the half to talk about it. And Coach John Webb will have his team ready to start this second half. So we've had a good one so far. What's been your impression of this first half?
Kingston, totally. They have really surprised me from the first week that we saw them till now. Big improvements on the offense. Kingston has looked very polished all night. And Rockwood hanging in there. I could not believe their response there. Their first drive, easy touchdown, and it's 6-14. We've got a close ball game here, and Rockwood's going to come out after making some adjustments, and they're going to be ready to play some football.
Indeed they are. We'll have first half stats for you. We might get to see a band play. Looking forward to that and more when we get back. You're tuned in to your OEB Law Game of the Week.
OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys? Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary.
Are representatives of some of the agencies that serve Roane County. Join me in celebrating the members of the Kingston Police Department, the Roane County Sheriff's Office, the Rockwood Police Department, the Harriman Police Department, the Roane State Police Department, the Kingston Fire Department, the Rockwood Fire Department, Harriman Fire Department, East Roane County Fire Department, West Roane County Fire Department, South Roane County Fire Department, Roane County Emergency Management Agency, Roane County EMS, Lifestar Aeromedical Services, Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Roane County Emergency 911 Center, and Roane County School Nurses. In 19 years since 9/11, and all during this year, we have seen many good people in action. And among the very finest are those men and women standing before you tonight. When others are running away from a threatening condition, these are the ones who are running toward it. They have made the decision that the safety and lives of others are worth the sacrifice of their own. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring these first responders and servicemen and women of Roane County, the state of Tennessee, and the United States of America. And now, to honor America and pay tribute to the victims of 9/11, please welcome former member of the 572nd Air Force Band and Roane County's own Reggie Coleman, along with the Roane County High School Band, to perform a special arrangement of America the Beautiful.
What? Let me know so I'll make 2 trips. Hey, how are you?
Tonight is also senior night. And while, again, this hopefully will not be the last time these students march on Dr. Nat Sugarman Memorial Field, we take time to honor them tonight. Erin Bailey, daughter of Mark and Angel Bailey. Emma Ward, daughter of Jerry and Kristen Ward. Sarah Pistol, daughter of Mike and Leilani Pistol. Bailey Minot, daughter of Chris and Jennifer Minot. Kimmy Goodman, daughter of Herbert and Leanne Goodman. Jordan Ross, daughter of Rick and Jennifer Ross. Kyan Chapman, daughter of Sean and Tyler Chapman. Morgan Grigsby, daughter of Mitch and Christy Grigsby. Destiny Turpin, daughter of Ernest and Sloan Turpin. Skylar Brackett, daughter of Leslie Brackett and granddaughter of Jenny Brackett. Katie Bunch, daughter of Daniel Bunch and Kelly Swicegood. Kirsten Wattenbarger, daughter of Jeff and Kim Wattenbarger. Marissa Klein, daughter of Mark and Lisa Klein. Sydney Brackett, daughter of Donnie and Stacy Brackett. Ryan Dubois, son of Robert and Tricia Dubois. Dalton Mazzell, grandson of Ron and Connie Zajac. Patrick Haynes, son of Thomas Haynes and Anita Bullard. Chloe Sampson, daughter of Randall and Royal Sampson. Patrick McDonald, son of Ani McDonald and Patrick McDonald. Madison Scarborough, daughter of Joe and Sonia Sieber. Julie Newton, daughter of Nathan and Kim Newton and Lindsay Kesey. Avery Fritz, daughter of Matt and Angie Fritz. Connor Hale, son of Herthel and Brenda Hale. Riley McCarty, son of Joshua and Amanda McCarty. Josh Fader, son of Butch and Dana Fader. Bryce McCracken, son of Kelly and Tasia McCracken. Alexis Abbott, daughter of Tara and Chris Goff. Blake Garrett, son of Stephen and Shannon Garrett. Braden Powers, son of Rick and Teresa Powers. Emma Littlefield, daughter of Tom and Sarah Littlefield. Emma Herrera, daughter of Tanya Herrera and the late Sergeant David Herrera. And our cheerleader, Avery Godek, daughter of Eric Godek and Victoria McMillan. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking and congratulating our 2020 Rowan County High School Band and Cheerleader Senior Class.
Okay, let me know when he's back on there when it quits click, click, clacking, because I can't handle that. And that's the camera I was using last week. Yeah. It says Jane on top, right? Yeah.
Jaidan Hannibal in the turn. He got down by 36 wide. Rockwood 39. First down Tigers. Stop for a loss. Number 29, Mike. Number 32, Ashley.
I can kill you.
Jaidan Hannibal on the swing. Rockwood down by the Kingston 32 by Landon Briggs. First down, Rockwood.
Oh, God. I was going to say, I'm sitting here doing nothing. Okay. Okay.
And now Rockwood has a Hammers first and goal off that huge run from Waldo. And now Octavius Worthy's battling, fighting, trying to get into the end zone. And he's stopped just shy of the goal line. It will be second and goal from inside the 1 yard line. And Rockwood is in a hurry to put more points on this board.
Well, they came out, and they're really fired up. They had a good offensive plan coming out of halftime, and they're capitalizing big time. They're fired up. Offensive line's getting a good push. Let's see if they can punch it in here.
And we saw Jaidan Hannibal with his first carry of the game, and it went for big yardage, and plowing over the top is the big man Worthy. Touchdown, Rockwood.
What a play. Great job by Worthy there, jumping over. Reminded me of old Jabari Davis over at Tennessee, the Florida Gator beater over there. So excellent play. Good job running down the field and hopping over.
So Rockwood has cut this lead to 2.
I don't know what the total time of possession is for Rockwood, but I know they have scored and not used much time to score 2 touchdowns. We've got a great ball game, 12-14.
Yeah, and this is like the drive that Rockwood scored on its first possession of the game. Just drove straight down the field in big chunks, and Rockwood going for 2. Going to try to tie this thing. Turner with a hard count, hands off, and there's Hannibal. Hannibal's wrapped up and dropped. And there waiting for him was Marcus Rose. So you've got one playmaker versus one playmaker there, and Rose gets the better of Hannibal there. And let's watch this Chuck Fleischman replay as Rose in there, able to slow him down, and Guttner there to finish the job. Let's look at some first half stats now. Kingston with 10 first downs to Rockwood's just 3. Rushing yards were decently even. Kingston with just 109 to Rockwood 75. Passing yards, though, Kingston got 67. So the total yardage, 176 to 75. And, of course, the time of possession there. Kingston with 18 minutes of offense versus Rockwood's just 5:55.
Well, you look at it like this. Rockwood has scored 2 touchdowns in less than probably 7-8 minutes. Which that's not what they're designed for. They're a time of possession offense. So you never know how this ball game could turn out because it has not been friendly for Rockwood offensively, even with the success that they have had.
Yeah, Kingston just allowing large chunks of gains on these 2 Rockwood scoring drives. As now, out of our Davis Funeral Home kickoff, it's Wayne Best. And Best lets this one go. Great kick. We said that at the same time. Taken inside the 5-yard line by Mr. number 5. That's Guttner. And Guttner brings it out to the 26-yard line. And that's where Kingston will have a Hammers 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, old Wayne Barnes, 6'1", 215-pound senior for Rockwood, kicker. He just absolutely sent that on a ride.
Now, we do have some scores of interest we want to bring to you. At the half, Fulton leads over Austin East 14-0. In the second quarter, it was Oakdale leading Wartburg 14-8. At the half, a 0-0 tie between Oneida and Greenback. And here's a big one. At the half, Alcoa leading Maryville 9-0.
Whew.
So let's see how Kingston responds out of the Rockwood touchdown. Handoff. That goes to Guttner, and Guttner is gutting them right up the middle. Big gain, and changes his field position again, still on his feet, and finally brought down in Rockwood territory. That went from the 26-yard line all the way down to the 39.
Yeah, this kid is legit. He's got a bright future here wearing the K on his helmet. Very, very fast kid. And look for him to continue to develop over the years, learning how to be a good athlete, how to play the wide receiver position, because he is going to be dandy. He has definitely got the athleticism to make a lot of big plays. As you see there, you are not going to arm tackle that young man.
That's a 35-yard gain, but he ran about 60. Hammers 1st and 10, wing T set, man in motion, handoff goes directly up the middle. It's Landon Diggs. And Diggs digs his feet in the ground and gains about 12 yards, and it'll be another Hammers 1st and 10 for the Kingston Yellow Jackets.
Landon Diggs, he does keep his feet digging forward, don't he? If he could lower that center of gravity just a little bit more, he'll pick up a couple more out of that. I tell you, he's a fun fullback to watch in this Kingston offense.
So Kingston, man in motion. That's Donovan. Donovan gets the handoff, and he's going to pick up some pretty decent yards. A pickup of about 5 or 6 on the play for Donovan. And so what about this, man? These two teams that like to keep it on the ground are just putting out chunks of yards.
Yeah, man. With Kingston, with all the misdirection and the option football, pulling the guards, it really does. It sticks your linebackers in glue there, and they're standing up, defensive line standing up. Everybody's watching, and it's having an effect on that.
And here's
defense.
Marcus Rose,
oh my goodness,
down, still on his feet. And still on his feet. Look at him go. He's still on his feet. Down inside the 5-yard line, and we did have a flag come in late. Marcus Rose got into a pile, and that pile kept moving in the wrong direction for Rockwood.
And that's want to, Aaron. That's your whole team surrounding you and pushing you forward to pick up tough yardage. That's hard-nosed, classic East Tennessee football right there.
So we'll see what the penalty is. It's a okay. So that's an assisting the runner penalty.
So they must have picked him up and tried to carry him forward, which, you don't see that called very often. Let's watch the replay here. Looked like a good job all the way around. Let's see what happens.
Well, look at Marcus. Like, even without help from his teammates. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he's pulling on him.
Yeah. Yeah, just giving him a little bit of pull. Pretty petty call if you ask me, but he caught it.
Well, it's still a Hammers 1st and 10. Kane Collins on the keeper. Woo! And he's licked.
Quarterback Collins keeps. Stopped by number 4, Ficky.
Ficky again in on the tackle. He has been everywhere tonight. A good, solid tackle. He has really performed well after that first initial missed tackle.
And that is on, we see that on our Chuck Fleischman replay. Of course, Congressman Chuck Fleischman has served as Congressman since 2010 in the Morgan Anderson, Roane County areas.
See if they elect to do a rollout.
Collins handoff Diggs. Diggs immediately met and flipped over. And Rockwood's fired up.
Yeah, they are. Big number 69, Jackson Kelly, first one in on the tackle there. He is a big force up the middle there. When he stays good and low, he's hard to push around.
So we're almost halfway through this third quarter. This game has just flown by. A big 3rd and 11 here. Rockwood would love a stop. Here's Collins on the rollout. Looks across the middle, almost picked off and picked off. Wonderful. And that is by Nehemiah Story, the defensive lineman. Yeah, so you played on the line. How exciting is it for a lineman to get an interception?
Oh, it's exciting. Let's see if he did a big old power punt there on the football. 5'11", 260-pound sophomore. Watch him here with a good hands. He came in. He's screaming cookie the whole time. I tell you what, he's excited. And I guarantee you he's going to be up all night watching that replay.
Cookie.
Yeah.
and Dryston Turner, of course, needs to get the credit for that. Batted the ball up in the air and gave Story a chance to write into his own story what happened there. So Hammers 1st and 10. Here's Turner on the option. Pitches out to Hannibal. Hannibal around the right side. Look how fast he is. That's enough for a Hammers 1st and 10.
Yeah, you hold that bicep up there, son, because you've got it. He is fast. And I tell you what, if he gets around that edge and just gets around that corner, he can beat you. Look at the good job by the quarterback. Draw in number 33, the defensive end. It gives you your pitch man some running room. And let him do the rest because he's going to outrun somebody.
Hannibal is the best athlete on the football field that I've seen in years.
No, he really is. And just wish he could find an extra 20, 30 pounds somewhere laying around.
And I should say at this level, we've been able to cover some bigger teams as this play is blown dead. And I don't want to slight some of these really, really great athletes that we've seen, but So a false start on Rockwood will back the Tigers up and make this a Hammers 1st and 15. But if Hannibal had maybe a little bit more size, you're looking at a kid right there that can play anywhere in Tennessee.
Oh, absolutely. He's got the speed. He's got the athleticism. He's got the hands. The only thing he's lacking right now is the size. And unfortunately, to play at the next level, you've got to be able to take some massive, massive hits from a lot of big bodies. And so hopefully he can gain some weight, because he could definitely play at the next level just off of athleticism. He's got to get bigger, though.
All right, Turner brings his team up the line, and we've got another stop and play. And this comes from the back judge. That looks like a delay of game. And that's what it is.
Rockwood shooting themselves in the foot right now, and a lot of this is coming from the sidelines. So let's see if they can get this worked out.
Coach John Webb is the offensive coordinator of this Rockwood team, as well as the head coach, of course.
And Kingston electing to bring out an extra defensive lineman, replace him with a linebacker, coming to a 4-3 defense. Expected more rollouts, potentially a pass.
And Turner in a shotgun this time. Takes a snap. He does roll and lets it go, and that pass falls short of his intended target, Worthy.
And I tell you, he was there. If he could have made that catch or that throw and catch, he could have picked up a pretty large gain, potentially first down. So good play call.
Was that screen play?
I didn't see any linemen coming out, so it wasn't a screen, just kind of a little slip out, a little slip screen type of thing.
So it's 2nd and 20 for this Rockwood Tiger team.
Yeah, this isn't what you want if you're Rockwood. This is not what their offense is built for, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Turner with Worthy in the backfield, 2 men to the right. And Turner lets it go, and that ball is batted down.
Quick release there. It's hard to get the ball over the defensive line when you elect to pass that fast. He stepped back 1 foot. He was only 3 foot from the center. So that's a hard throw to make there. Defensive line did a really good job getting their hands up, knocking the ball down.
And that's the sophomore Jacques Ashley. And now Turner with 2 wide receivers on either side takes the snap. Looking under major pressure, having to roll out to his right, and brought down after a huge loss of about another 10 yards. And now
disastrous.
Turner is the punter on this team, and he's going to have to line up with his heels in the back of the end zone to punt this one away.
And that was it looked like a potential face mask there that they missed. But I tell you, it looked like a screen play that they missed. He rolled out, panicked, and took a big loss on the play, and that's unfortunate because this is a dangerous situation. But I'm Kingston. I'm putting all-out block here. Dangerous territory.
Isaac Cox back to receive this one. Turner does get the boot away, and the ball lands and takes a Rockwood bounce before rolling dead at the 38-yard line, and that's where Kingston will take over. So Rockwood not able to take advantage of that turnover that they were able to come up with, as we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay. It was a high punt. And
I tell you, that worked out for Rockwood because that he was kicking back deep. You're talking almost a 40-yard punt.
Yeah.
So I tell you, that's not bad. And that worked out for Rockwood. Pretty disastrous play right before that, but it worked out in their favor. Let's see if their defense can respond and slow down this Kingston offense. And now your best defensive player, Worthy's, having to come off the field due to a little blood issue.
So Hammers 1st and 10 for Kingston in positive yardage territory here at the Rockwood 39. Collins sends a man in motion. That's Donathan. Handoff goes to Rose, however, and Rose is tripped up at the line of scrimmage, but falls forward for a pickup of about 3. As we see on this Chuck Fleischman replay. A little misdirection there.
Yeah, tripped right over there. Number 54 there, the big offensive lineman, Mr. Cam Basler Jr., who's had a heck of a game tonight pulling.
and gobbled up in the backfield. The ball might have come free. Nope. But I believe that was the first carry we've seen tonight for Don Dana. And he had nowhere to go. Yeah, the ball did come out. Dana was able to recover it, however. It fell right to his knees. So fortunate for Kingston there. So 3rd and 9 now for this Yellow Jacket offense. And single wide out either side, man in motion, that's Rose. Rose does not get the handoff. It's Collins up the middle, and Collins picks up the Hammers 1st and 10. But there is a flag. There is a flag at the 40-yard line. And that's behind the original line of scrimmage. I saw some Kingston fans yelling in front of us, so.
It looked like a little jawing back and forth between number 72, Rockwood, number 54, Kingston.
Personal foul.
Yeah. Yeah, personal foul on Rockwood. That's going to tack on an additional 15 yards to the end of this run. Almost. Look at that run by Collins. It's got to help when you have a guy like Marcus Rose that you fake that handoff to going wide, because you have to respect that. But Collins is a good enough athlete, he can make you pay. So since the end of that run was at the 29, you go half the distance to the goal on a 15-yard penalty, and the ball is spotted at the 14 where it's Hammers 1st and 10 for Kingston. Now here is Rose going right to left. Gets it up to about the 16 before he's brought down. Look like Octavius Worthy gets the stop for Rockwood.
Stop by number 7, Jaidan Hannibal.
Let's see if Kingston can maintain composure down here now and punch this in to try to get some separation between Rockwood. Or let's see if Rockwood responds and really tries to force a turnover here in this situation.
Another score of interest. Coach Larry Green's Bobcats up 6-0 after 3 quarters over Northview Academy. And Midway up on Cosby 25-0 at the half. Collins having to get everyone set. And handoff goes to Donathan. Donathan puts his head down and falls forward to the 4-yard line. That will be close to another first down.
You know, something I've noticed all night long is these Kingston running backs have all fell forward. You very rarely see them falling backwards, and that's what you want to see. You're always picking up something, a little something extra. So been very impressed with that, really.
Congressman Fleischman very happy with that one. So just shy of a couple, maybe a couple inches of that Hammers 1st and goal. Here's Collins. This will be a quarterback sneak. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a fumble.
Down. Thank goodness for number 34.
Don Dana there to get that ball. That was going to be a quarterback sneak, and I think Collins took off before he secured the football.
Mm-hmm. That happens whenever you're taking shotgun all year long, then you sneak in there and try to get under the center. Sometimes it's just a little uncomfortable.
So that's a huge play. Instead of potentially having a 1st and goal inside the 4-yard line, you're going to have a 4th and about 4 yards to go.
Yeah, you want to see that Rockwood sideline really get emotional here. You want to see that Rockwood defense really show some emotion, some toughness here to keep them out of that end zone and keep this a close ball game.
Big play right here, Collins. And Kingston wants to take a timeout, so they want to talk about this. This is a big play, and we'll see this play when we get back. It's your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's your OEB Law Game of the Week on BBB TV Channel 12. We are here at Dr. Nat Sugarman Memorial Field, and we have a great one in this Roane County slugfest. It's 4th and 4 for the Kingston Yellow Jackets. This would be a huge stop for Rockwood looking to stay in this football game.
Watch the ball if you're Rockwood.
Collins does get the snap, fakes the handoff to Rose, rolls around right side, has a man in the back of the end zone, it's caught. Touchdown, Rockwood. Touchdown, Kingston. That's Donathan. Does get the snap. And fakes the handoff to Rose, rolls around right
side. You
side.
had two guys basically sitting wide open. You had your tight end and your wide receiver. That's just a defensive backfield breakdown, just like we talked about there at halftime. One of the Rockwood coaches came up, was having some difficulty with defensive backs, and I tell you, it's showing right here.
Yeah, and Donathan lined up in about an H-back position there. That extra point is up, and it is good. So Kingston now has made this a two-score football game. The score is Kingston 21, Rockwood 12. Rockwood will respond when we get back.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases, all at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
And welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week, as Kingston has made this a two-score football game, and now you've got your Davis Funeral Home kickoff. It's going to be taken at the 23. Fielded by Hannibal. Hannibal has a lot of open room in front of him and some blockers ahead, and Don Dana has his helmet come off.
And he rolled up behind Hannibal's hurt leg, so he's slow to get up.
See, Kingston's been kicking it short all game long, and that's not a surprise. You wouldn't want to give the ball to Hannibal, but this time Hannibal came up. He was expecting it and fielded it cleanly at the 22-yard line, and the young man, a junior playmaker on this Rockwood Tiger football team, is hobbling off the field, and yeah, he got injured on that play.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite 100% tonight, to be honest with you.
So Turner, Dryston Turner, handoff, Worthy. Worthy is piled up and dropped at the line of scrimmage.
And something didn't quite look right there. It might have been a little miscommunication with the quarterback there and the running back.
No gain, second down.
That's interesting. Okay, so.
Little weird there. It looked like the running back was supposed to go on the right side of the quarterback there, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
It almost looked like they were faking maybe a direct snap. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, so Turner comes out, two wideouts either side. Man in the backfield, that's Worthy.
50-man front for Kingston.
Turner. Quick pass and getting to the outside and trying to pick up more yardage before he slips out of bounds. For Rockwood is Dom Moran.
Moran stepped out of bounds at the 30.
As we see on the Chuck Fleischman replay, Moran's trying to get as many yards as he can, but slips out of bounds. And you've got a 3rd and long here. 3rd and 7 for Rockwood.
Screen draw. Roll
Turner
out.
takes the snap. Rolls to his right a little bit. Looking. Now keeps it and picks up maybe a yard before he's brought out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds by Ladd and Ashford. It's 4th and 7.
So let's look at this Chuck Fleischman replay and see, what do you think Turner sees right here? He points to someone to go.
Hannibal or some number 9 streaking down the field, and he thought he was going to get out of or break deep, but he was stepped out of bounds.
And so we saw an official's hat come off, and this 3rd quarter has come to an end. So Rockwood has a big 4th down, trailing this game to Kingston 21-12. So it's still a 2-score game and a big one. So OEB Law earlier today presented, that's Tim Elrod out there, presenting a $1,000 check to Kingston High School. OEB Law donates a $1,000 check each week, not only during our game, but also on Rivalry Thursday to the home high school. And he gives it to the high school club or student that best exemplifies school spirit. So we're very thankful to have Tim Elrod and OEB Law on board with us, and we're very thankful that he and OEB Law helps out the community as much as they do. That $1,000 check goes a long way to any school that you want to give it to. So to start this 4th quarter, Dryston Turner is in punt formation, and Kingston doesn't have a man back. And Turner's going to boot this one far. Hits at the 20 and continues to roll and is down at the 14. The line of scrimmage was the 38. So from the 38 to the 14, allow me to do math for a second. This is 14 plus 36.
Kingston
Is that a
was
50-yard
looking
punt?
for a fake. Kingston was anticipating some sort of a fake there and elected to not put anyone back, and I'm not a fan of that at all. We've talked about this a long time, and you see what kind of mistake that can happen if you elect not to catch the ball.
And that is officially a 49-yard net punt.
That's a dandy.
I said 50. I was close. It was a great punt by Turner.
Really was. You can't short that at all. Just interesting choice there by Kingston. Now they've got bad field position, but if you're the Kingston offensive coordinator, you got a lot of confidence right now.
A lot of confusion there, and still confusion as Collins is just going to pick it up and run to his left, and a flag comes in late. I'd say that's in the area of a hold. And that's what it is. So now Kingston will be backed up a little bit. Yeah, Kingston was very confused on that. Looked very discombobulated. So where they got the hold, I believe they called the hold at the 18-yard line. So they'll go half the distance to the goal.
Penalty from the spot of the foul.
Or maybe they won't.
I want to see Rockwood show a lot of urgency here. Take a lot of swipes at that football. Anytime you're gang tackling, you need to have somebody trying to strip that football. Got to have some turnovers here.
So they went from the 18-yard line to the 13-yard line on a holding call. Huh. I don't know. Anyway, Collins, 2 wide receivers either side this time, sends a man in motion and keeps it going up the middle. And look at Jackson Kelly.
He's been fired up this drive. He has been everywhere. So I've been impressed with that young man. He's a heck of a
Nehemiah
ball player.
Story is actually the one on the tackle there. And Story. I said Jackson Kelly, but it was Nehemiah Story. So Story adding to his storied football game. Boy, that was a weird setup play. There's Marcus Rose on a quick out, and Rose gets close to the first down marker to gain.
They caught Rockwood man coverage and snuck that number 3 wide receiver, that wing back, out to the flats there, and just not enough time for that DB to make up ground there. Great job.
Yeah, look at the Chuck Fleischman replay. Fickey got there first, but ultimately getting the tackle was Jack Alexander, and Kingston's just shy of that first down.
It's a big play there.
Rockwood's been getting more stops on defense this half.
Yeah, and that's due to the halftime adjustments by the coaching staffs.
So you got a big 3rd and short here for this Rockwood defense. Collins, handoff, and picking up that first down is Rose.
Marcus Rose.
And barely picks up that first down. He had to get the 25. He got the 25 and a half.
Just enough of a wall there. Good job by the fullback picking up that first man. Picked it up. I tell you, Kingston's number 54, the offensive lineman, he does a really good job of pulling. And I've noticed that last year. Cam Basler Jr., he was a sophomore last year when we watched him several times, and he's got pulling down. And Kingston pulls him almost every play. So he's your lead blocker probably 80% of the time for Kingston's offense.
Hammers 1st and 10 for Kingston. 3 wideouts to the left, and Collins will go that direction. And with major yardage, getting upfield to midfield to the 40, still on his feet to the 30, still on his feet to the 20, reverses his field. He's going to be in a foot race to the end zone, and Fickey gets him down at the 6, but that is Rylan Gutner.
Gutner again. We've talked about him several times tonight. I told you earlier they were trying to target this young man more, and that's obvious that this young man is somebody they're expecting to break out, and tonight it's a breakout party for him. Freshman year.
Great run.
Good field vision.
Making everybody miss.
Fickey, just enough speed to catch him before he breaks the goal line.
So, you've got a Hammers 1st and goal for Kingston now, looking to extend this lead even further. Handoff. Donovan down in the end zone. Touchdown, Kingston. Carson Donovan. How many times has that young man been in the end zone tonight? I know he has at least 1 receiving touchdown. I think he might have 2. As we see on our Chuck Fleischman replay, he just powered his way into the end zone.
Roberts to attempt the extra point.
Cade Roberts, sophomore, trying to get this extra point. And it's up, and it's good. And so Kingston now has a 16-point advantage with just 8:09 left to go in this 4th quarter, and time running out on Rockwood.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome back into your OEB Law Game of the Week. Kingston just puts another one on the board and kicks the extra point, and it's good. And the reason why that's important is Rockwood is most likely going to be going for 2-point conversions if they get into the end zone. So if Kingston had missed that one, then maybe Rockwood could have won it with 2. Hey, we got a trivia question for you tonight. What college football Hall of Famer, both as a player and a coach, played his high school football right here in Kingston? Now, Brad Jones came up with this trivia question for us. And I admit I didn't know the answer. However, you did.
Yes. That's a name that I heard many times growing up from all these Kingston folks down here.
And here is our Davis Funeral Home kickoff. And taken at the 20-yard line, reversing his field, getting up to the 9 before he spun down is Dom Moran, getting up to the 33, I should say.
I tell you, that's somebody I'd like to see targeted a little bit more is Dom Moran.
So the answer is Bowden Wyatt, inducted as a coach in the College Football Hall of Fame in 1997, inducted as a player 1972. That's a guy who coached at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, one of the best coaches and players to ever play. He came from right here in good old Kingston, Tennessee. And when he was playing here in Kingston, that was elite football back in them days.
That picture of him almost looked like your papa a little bit. That almost looks like Jim Gibson right there, like a younger version of him.
Well, I'd like to know how many conversations they had over the years.
All right, so we have another trivia question, though. So who kicked the game-winning field goal for Rockwood in the 1976 state championship game?
Ooh, Rockwood people.
So I
that's a big
around.
one.
I wasn't around back then.
1976.
And that was on November 26th of that year. An overtime win over Dyer County, Mr. Terry Jordan.
Look at that picture. You talk about the hero of Rockwood athletics coming up clutch, 3-0 overtime win in Dyer County. I mean, that could you imagine watching that game today? Talk about a defensive battle.
Okay, yeah, but how long was the field goal?
Good question.
Ooh, I got you, didn't I?
Bet you I can find that one out quick.
All right, so out of the timeout on the field, 8:01 left to go. Rockwood has got to respond here. Down 16. They're still down 2 scores, so 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions, so we'll see. New quarterback on the field. It's Ficky. And we've got a flag on the play.
Dead ball, false start, Rockwood.
And it's a false start on Rockwood. So we've seen 3 quarterbacks tonight for this Rockwood team, as we've seen Landon Watts, we've seen Dryston Turner, and now Adrian Ficky. And that's the last play that we saw Turner. We just saw the replay of it. So you wonder if maybe he got injured on that play. So Ficky takes a snap, handoff, goes to Worthy, and Worthy is brought down, met at the line by Braden Wright. And this is not a good situation for Rockwood. You have to respond here, and you're at, what, a third-string quarterback?
Yeah, that's never good. That's not what you want. If you got 3 quarterbacks touching the ball, odds are things aren't going your way. And there was definitely some miscommunication there between the quarterback, running back, and the offensive line, because where he was running, there was definitely a defender sitting right there unblocked.
So we don't see Hannibal on the field, and we don't see Turner on the field. And now Ficky takes a shotgun snap, rolls to his left, and is going to keep it. He's got some yardage, and he's brought down by Cox.
Good pickup. He needs to hold on to that ball a little bit better if he's going to be scrambling like that. He's carrying it like a loaf of bread. He will cough it up.
See on our Chuck Fleischman replay, Ficky normally is a wide receiver and a defensive back, so you think he's talented. He plays skill positions.
He's made about 12 tackles tonight, it seems like.
And now Rockwood is in a position where they're going to need to go for this here. With under 7 minutes left, down 2 scores, Ficky is in shotgun, and he drops the football. Rolling to his left. He's just got to let it go. Puts it up. Oh! It's caught!
What a catch.
Down to the 30-yard line for Rockwood. That's Owen Heil. And the Kingston defender misjudged. He mistimed his jump.
Looked like it went right through his hands. Disastrous from the start. Stuck with it, threw it up for a prayer, and it was answered. Look at this.
Yeah, just mistimed his jump. It looked like back there for Kingston was Will Moore. And Rockwood, with a third-string quarterback, is in business.
It's Roane County football, Aaron.
It is.
You never know what's going to happen.
So now Fickey can line up comfortably with a single slot and getting the ball moving from right to left, still on his feet. Still on his feet, getting down the sideline is Dom Moran.
You got to love it. Dom Moran. This guy has been all over the field. And I tell you, I like him. He reminds me a lot of Jaidan Hannibal. He's got a lot of wiggle to him. He's somebody that's going to have to get the ball in his hand a little bit more.
And you see Moran had a lot of lead blockers. Look at the way he cuts to change. He cuts on a dime.
He can turn his hips really well, and that's why he needs the ball in his hands more.
Fickey, handoff, Worthy. Or I'm sorry, that's Waldo. Waldo trying to get to the outside, dives for the pylon. We're still waiting on a signal.
He's in. Come on, guys.
No, they're marking him out at the 1.
Man.
We have got the advantage of replay. And
let's see.
We've got to stop and play.
Watch how patient he is on this run. He is not running full speed. He lets his blockers get in front of him.
All right, let's see.
That's
that's a touchdown.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
He'll see that on the replay.
Yeah.
I'd feed him right here after the effort he just gave. I'm giving the ball to no one else.
Yeah, that was a touchdown all day long.
I really like his patience running the ball. It gives him some really good field position or field vision.
So do we see Worthy over the top again?
More than likely.
Man in motion, that's Moran. No, it's a quarterback sneak with Fickey, and Fickey's fighting.
Looks like he was pushed out of there.
Oh, he got so close to that goal line. I tell you what.
That's a good job by the Kingston defensive line. Look at that. Came right across the face of number 67.
And for Kingston, just a powerful move there by Kane Ladd. He's a freshman.
I tell you, Kingston, they're building something special down here. They're going to be fun to watch for the next few years.
So Rockwood a little bit closer. I don't know that you don't expect the exact same thing. Nope, it's Worthy. Worthy. Does he get in? He does. Touchdown, Rockwood. And I have to tell you, man, I was thinking if Rockwood cannot score right here, how big would that reach for the pylon that didn't get called a touchdown have been?
It would have been huge.
Now, but still what you do have is Rockwood has to convert this 2-point conversion here. They have to. So
10-point lead.
So what does Coach John Webb draw up with his third-string quarterback? He's got Worthy and Waldo in the backfield. Sends Moran in motion. He's got some options. Pitch out quick to Waldo.
Got it.
Waldo breaks in. 2-point conversion is good. We've got a 1-score ball game here, folks.
Roane County football, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Rockwood 20.
4 minutes and 34 seconds. Let's see if they elect to do an onside kick.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is help.
Welcome back into your OEB Law Game of the Week. And this game is brought to you also by the City of Rockwood. The Mayor of Rockwood and council members Steve Bryant, Jason Jolly, Shane True, Mike Fuller, Harold Holloway, and Bobby Anderson are all big fans of this Rockwood team and hope that they have a winning season so that they can get into the playoffs. As Mayor Brillo Miller would say, go Tigers, play hard tonight, which they are doing, and win, 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 which they are trying to do. Time for our Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home with 2 locations in Rockwood, or in Harriman and Wartburg, and we've got to stop and play as Rockwood was going to attempt that onside kick.
Man, they had a great opportunity right there to really get that, but it looked like they were offsides.
That's what it was.
Oh. Man.
That ball wouldn't have traveled 10 yards anyway.
Good draw up, good job, just didn't work out for him.
And you could see right there on that Congressman Chuck Fleischman replay.
Let's see if they make an adjustment here on what they elect to do.
Well, there's 4:34.
They do have 3 timeouts. It's just Kingston has been ruthless on offense. Do you want to take the chance of giving them the football and then running the timeout?
And that's possible.
What do you want to do as a coach right now?
Because Kingston has completely dominated the time of possession in this game. So now, again, we'll attempt our Davis Funeral Home kickoff. And this time it's just going to go long.
Yep.
And Isaiah Cox is not there to cleanly field it, and picks it up at about the 13, gets to the 15, across the 20, still on his feet. And Cox to the 50, to the 40, to the 30. Does he have the juice to make it to the end zone? He does. Touchdown, Kingston. That play was doomed. And it seems like to me, okay, so Devin Hester is one of the best return men ever in NFL history, and it seemed like to me that his greatest runs came from he would pause at first. And so Cox kind of does that here because he doesn't field the ball cleanly. So he kind of stops, he almost falls down, and then...
And right here he sees it. Now look at the smoke that is leaving his cleats right here. He turns it on. Very good run.
All right, so...
Devastating for Rockwood.
It is. It's completely devastating.
Go for, how good's that onside kick looking right now?
Yeah. All right, so end to attempt the extra point, which will make this a 15-point game if it's good. And it is good. We've got a 2-score ball game again as Cade Roberts boots it through with just 4:15 left to go in the game.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
Back at our OEB Law Game of the Week as Isaac Cox steps in and takes it to the house to give Kingston a 2-score advantage again. The Yellow Jackets lead this one 35. Our David Funeral Home kickoff. And this is going to go long. Chuck Fleischman replay. And that ball was picked up at the 8-yard line. That makes that a 92-yard return. And you see Cox just keeps changing directions. He zigzags until he finds the open lane down the field. And for Rockwood, it was Eric Thurmond, a sophomore, trying to chase him down. Just didn't have enough gas to do it. So another Davis Funeral Home kickoff. And this one is going to be high and short and taken at the 30-yard line. And brought down at the 42-yard line is Rockwood's Heil.
I want to see some fight out of Rockwood. Don't give up. Let's be aggressive here. Try to punch one in. Make it a closer ball game. Too much pride in this game.
Gosh, we've seen some really big plays
this
tonight.
Has been a great classic Roane County football game. This is why we love being down here, thanks to OEB. So this is classic high school football.
So Coach John Webb sends that play in. The clock is a big enemy of Rockwood now. Just 4:10 left to go in this football game. Fickey, quick pitch out to Waldo. Waldo tries to get outside, and he can't. He's going to be wrapped up twice and brought down in the backfield. Credit that time to Mason Lee for this Kingston team. Was able to slow Waldo down twice and give his teammates time to catch up to Waldo.
Loss of 4 on the play, second down.
And the clock continues to run. Rockwood with 3 timeouts, but You're down
Not
2
much
scores.
urgency out of them right now,
Yeah.
which is strange. They're just walking to the line of scrimmage.
Wing T set now. As Fickey drops back the pass, and he's sacked.
By the look of the body language, and writing's starting to be on the wall.
Yeah. Mason Lee and Patrick Cardona are back there to get that sack. And you could Rockwood, like you said the writing's on the wall. They look defeated at this point.
They do, and you don't want to see that. You want to see their aggressiveness continue because they have not played a bad ball game. This should be even closer than what it is. So you want to see the fight continue to the last second runs off that clock.
So now Fickey was in a shotgun formation, and Kingston wants to take a timeout. So the Yellow Jackets stop the clock, and they're gonna talk about this one.
I gotta go shower.
Laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Back to your OEB Law Game of the Week at Kingston on this September 11th. It's been a very patriotic themed game here. The field painted in red, white, and blue on this anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. And we have seen a great football game tonight. Rockwood with their backs against the wall, though. Third and very long. Fickey, a third-string quarterback, takes the snap, rolls to his right, looks, lets it go. He's got Moran there, but threw it in front of him, and it almost looked like Moran quit running because I thought that was a pretty good throw.
It wasn't bad for a third-string quarterback, that's
No.
for sure. And I like the aggressiveness. Keep fighting, Rockwood. You want to hang up another one if you can.
All right, so let's look at this Chuck Fleischman replay. Fickey is able to set his feet. Oh, my gosh. Moran could have caught that, I think. I don't know if he lost the football or what happened there.
He's looks like he's stiffening up, cramping a little bit potentially. But, yeah, you'd like to see him sell out more on that ball.
So 4th and forever. And Fickey's going to have to take a timeout. Just 2:34 left to go in this game. Rockwood with 4th and a bunch.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.
Back at Kingston, Rockwood has used its first time out of the half with good reason. There's not a lot in the Rockwood playbook to go to on 4th and 21. Especially with a third-string quarterback. So here's Fickey under center. Quick pass, and that pass falls incomplete. That was intended for Owen Heil. What were they trying to do there?
Just trying to hope for a break tackle and a streaking wide receiver, I believe, but it didn't work out in their favor. It's kind of awkward-looking play call, to be honest with you, but what do you do in that situation? Great job by number 29, Kingston, recognizing that run out there, making a good, solid tackle. I tell you what a great atmosphere here tonight. You know what? Kingston, they know how to host a party down here. It's been a great event from top to bottom.
It has been, and got to give props to the Kingston administration hooking us up with some food in the press box.
Yeah, they take care of their people down here. They got a lot of support, and they represent. I mean, look over here. They've got 5 second place finishes in the state of Tennessee. That's speaks volumes right there. And I don't know how many D1 football players that came out of Kingston, but it's too many to count.
So here is Kane Collins looking to try to finish this game up. And handoff goes to Guttner. Guttner gets to the 20-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Boy, Rylan Guttner's had a great game.
He has, and to be only a freshman, so this is his, second high school football game? Third high school football game? This kid is special. He's going to be the future of Kingston high school football, so keep your eye on this young man.
On our Chuck Fleischman replay. Chuck Fleischman was happy with that freshman. Served the Morgan, Roane, and Anderson County areas since 2010.
If Rockwood does not really pick it up here, Kingston's going to punch in another one.
And here's a handoff right up the middle and then move to the left. And that's Don Dana.
Brought down the 12-yard line.
And I tell you, Kingston's got several good little running backs, just running back by committee, really. One comes in, one goes out, and you don't really notice a difference. So pretty good overall talent back there at the running back position for Kingston.
This has been a fun game to watch, and it's sad to see it come to an end like this because Rockwood got within one score, jumped off sides on an onside kick chance, and decided to kick it deep. And because they kicked it deep, Kingston was able to run it back and get this 2-score lead and really put Rockwood up against it.
Next week, Kingston will travel to Northview.
Well, the mayor of Rockwood and council members, Steve Bryant, Jason Jolly, Shane True, Mike Fuller, Harold Holloway, and Bobby Anderson, all big fans of this Rockwood Fighting Tiger football team, as I think a lot of Rockwood people are, especially after their effort tonight. Well, the council members hope that they have a winning season this year and will be in the hunt for the playoffs at the end of the regular season. As Mayor Brillo Miller would say, go Tigers, play hard tonight and win, win, win. And I think that this Tiger football team did play very hard.
I guarantee you Brillo's not too disappointed in this Rockwood Tiger team. He knows this is they're going to come back strong from this. They got too good of coaches over there not to. Score update, Anderson County 21, South Doyle 14 in the fourth quarter.
All right. And here's a handoff, and stopped short is Cooper Webb. That's Webb's first carry of the game. So Kingston trying to get some fresh bodies in there, give them an opportunity. So that will bring up 3rd and short. As this clock just continues to run, this could be the last play of the game. Collins fakes a handoff to Dana, instead hands it off going from right to left, and that is to Ryan Nelson, and Nelson is stopped at about the 6-yard line, and that's enough for a Hammers 1st and 10 with 20 seconds left. The ball is set. The clock will run out on this ball game, and Brian Pankey adds another win over this Rockwood Tiger team as Kingston gets its 7th straight win in this series. Final score 35-20. All right, quickly, hot takes from this one.
Great overall atmosphere. I've been so impressed with everything that they have pulled out down here in Roane County for 9/11. Great football game. Kingston's just a little too much depth, and really good job offensively by Kingston. I think they dominated the game offensively tonight just by the time of possession alone. Just a little bit too well prepared, too fast. Too many breaks went their way for Rockwood to be able to compete in this game.
So what's unfortunate is that Rockwood did not finish this football game with Dryston Turner and did not finish this game with Jaidan Hannibal.
That's two of your best athletes right there.
Yeah.
And that is a major impact on this game. I do not believe Jaidan Hannibal was healthy this entire game. He did not look as his normal self.
And that's a guy that you need healthy if you're this Rockwood football team. Hannibal is a playmaker.
Oh, yeah. And Rockwood's going to be fine. They're going to bounce back from this, watch a lot of film, work on their mistakes, and learn from what their weaknesses have been. But I do see a lot of injured players over there for Rockwood.
The thing for Rockwood, which moves to 2-2 on the year, is that the 2 losses don't come to region opponents. The 2 losses come to Sweetwater and Kingston. And so you look at that, and this doesn't hurt Rockwood at all in a playoff picture. And so you kind of have to be happy about that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, they're going to bounce back from this. So Kingston's a little bit bigger school than them, 1 classification higher, if I'm not mistaken. So Rockwood's going to be fine. As you've seen last week, they just absolutely destroyed Oliver Springs, a supposedly very good Oliver Springs team. So Rockwood's going to be fine. They're going to come back from this, get healthy. Who do they play next week, Aaron?
I'll have to pull up the schedule.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. And Kingston is going to continue to develop. I'm really liking what I see out of Kingston. I want to see how they compete against a larger school that brings a little bit bigger roster that can rotate in a lot of depth. So I'm excited for both of these teams' futures as the season progresses.
So we've got some final stats for you here. Kingston with 17 first downs on the game, Rockwood with 8. Rushing yards, Kingston with 204 and Rockwood with 213. But here is where the difference is. Kane Collins with 151 yards passing, and Rockwood's just 35. So Kingston has the yardage advantage, 355 to 248. But here is another big story of this game. Kingston with the football, 32 minutes and 35 seconds to Rockwood's 15-25.
Yeah, that is a big story, too. Something else that tells you, we've been talking about coaching staffs all night. You look at that penalty yards, you see 3 penalties for 20, then you see 4 for 30. That's coaching.
That's a clean game.
That's a very clean game. And for a season of 2020 that we've had without a lot of live reps and preseason 7-on-7 work, that's impressive. And to only have 1 turnover in the whole game, for week 3, that's impressive. So you've seen a really good quality football game here tonight.
It was. The final score doesn't indicate how great this football game was. Just as a reminder, this was a 1-score game before Kingston ran back a kickoff for a touchdown. I'd like to preview next week's game between Greenback and Oliver Springs. Greenback had a tough matchup tonight with Oneida. I don't have a score on that one yet, but Greenback so far this season is winless. So is Oliver Springs, depending on what happened tonight, as Oliver Springs was in a matchup with the bigger Northview Academy. And last I checked, they were leading that game. And with 2 minutes left in the game, Oneida leads over Greenback 14-7.
Wow.
So a classic matchup between those two schools. And we'll try to get you a score on Oliver Springs as well to see what the Bobcats have done tonight. But it's just a really good football game tonight, as we said. 35-20 is the final, but Rockwood battled back. Let's see. So the power went out. This is a great story. Oliver Springs playing Northview Academy. The power goes out with 48 seconds left. Northview had scored and was waiting to try an extra point, and the power goes out.
That's why I love high school football.
I know.
Aaron. I mean, it's stuff like that happens that keeps the game exciting. That's awesome.
So
unfortunate for them at the ball game.
Yeah. So you're talking about icing a kicker.
Oh, absolutely. But those kids will remember that the rest of their life.
Yeah,
They'll be telling that story for years.
They will. So, yeah, Rockwood gave Kingston all they wanted tonight. And, so Rockwood cuts the lead to 8, and tries to kick an onside kick and jumps offsides. How big was that play?
That was the game. It's when he jumped offsides there, that ended it. He ran back the following play for a touchdown, and that totally just ended the game for Rockwood. Body language was over at that point.
Yeah, and here's that play. And you see just
disastrous.
Disappointment.
It is, and it happens. Look at 20 put his hands on his hips. Really? I mean, it happens, guys. But
Yeah,
it's
and then
how you respond to this adversity is what defines you.
So when the onside kick failed, here's Isaac Cox with 4:34 left to go in this game. Watch how many times he changes directions here. He slipped going to his left, almost slipped going to his right, and finds that sideline and just outruns everyone to pay dirt. And you see the score on the screen at that point. It was 28-20, and with under 4 minutes left, that ended the football game.
It did. It did. Classic down to the wire. Last 4 minutes to go, you get your decider. It's an awesome game. I'm excited next week to watch Greenback and Oliver Springs. That'll be a good one. So, guys, if you're at home, make sure you tune in next week. It'll be a dandy.
Yeah, Greenback traditionally, year in, year out, one of the best single-A football teams. So that will be fun to see.
8 minutes. They're still waiting on power.
So we just get the update. The power's been out, and they've been waiting for 8 minutes to kick an extra point.
Oof.
So Oliver Springs, we'll see how that plays out for them.
Well, Oliver Springs also had to play William Blunt, as well. So it's been a hard year for Oliver Springs so far. It'll be a good battle for them next week. And Greenback, just not used to struggling like this, and they've had a couple guys depart the team, transferring to different locations, and it's not a dumpster fire in Greenback by no means, but they're just experiencing things that they're not normally used to.
Greenback's an interesting case study, though. The position that they're in, they get the players who maybe aren't good enough to start at an Alcoa or a Maryville that, transfer over to Greenback, and that happens.
Yeah, you're talking about a kid that, he might be set behind an All-American quarterback or something at Maryville Alcoa, and he sees playing time available at Greenback. He might decide to transfer in over there, and that seems to happen a lot over there in that area. So back between Greenback, Loudons, and Alcoas and Maryvilles, and they kind of go back and forth over there. But it's going to be an exciting game to watch next week, so make sure you tune in.
Now let me say this for Brad Jones really quickly. A lot of people cutting the cord on cable. You can watch BBB TV, Channel 12, on Boxcast. Go to BBB Communications, and you can find instructions on how to do that. Go to the Facebook page, go to the website. So available on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV Stick, and with the Boxcast app. So you want more information on that, like I said, go to the BBB Communications Facebook page, go to BBBTV12.com. Call him up. Call Brad Jones up. He wants to talk to you, and he'll tell you how you can tune in to this wonderful station and watch these games live on your TV so that maybe you don't have to stream them on your phone if you are a cord cutter. So that's going to do it for our coverage tonight. For the cameraman, for Brad Jones himself, for OEB Law, for the coach James Gibson, I'm Aaron Harvey. Stay tuned now for the 5-Star Preps Friday night scoreboard show. Good night, everyone.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacle blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak, it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We built our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Don't dig blind. Buried utilities are everywhere. Always contact 811 before you dig to have your utilities marked.